As we learned in the previous section, the early Roman Empire has three main components. One, the emperor. Two, the senate. Three, the army. They played a very crucial role in the Roman Empire early period. The emperors are having a great respect towards the senators because it is the relationship between the emperor and the senate that is how the portrayal is being done. If they have good relations between the emperor and the emperor is portrayed as a good person. If he is hostile towards the senators, then he is portrayed as a bad king or an emperor. And the emperor should also maintain a very good cordial relationship with the army officials. The success of the individual emperors depended on their control of the army. If the emperor has to be successful, any of the emperors who has to be successful, it depended largely on their ability to control the army. When the armies were divided, the result usually was civil war. If the army was divided into different groups, that resulted in the civil wars. Who are the key players or how the Roman Empire flourished in the early period? First, it is the emperor. Next, it is the senate. And third, the most important is the army. The emperor, to continue as an emperor, he should be able to control the army very effectively. If he is not able to control the army very effectively, he cannot continue to be as an emperor. And if the emperor is not having good relationship with the senators, he will not be portrayed as a good emperor, capable emperor. Except for one notorious year, 69 CE, when four emperors mounted the throne in a quick succession. The first 2 centuries were on the whole free from civil wars and in this sense relatively stable. So we can notice here in the first 2 centuries, it was only in the year 69 CE there was one notorious year, 69, where four emperors succeeded one after the other. Other than this, the 200 years, excluding the year 69, they were relatively free and stable. They do not have any kind of civil wars during this period. Succession to the throne was based as far as possible on the family descendant, either natural or adoptive, and even the army was strongly wedded to this principle. So, what is the principle that is followed for the succession to the throne in the Roman Empire? It is the family descendant. If there are no family descendants, successors, then it would be adoptive. The king can adopt anyone who can succeed him after the king. For example, Tiberius 14 to 37 CE was the second in the long line of the Roman emperors, as you can see him on the screen. He was not the natural son of Augustus. Who is Augustus? The ruler who founded the Principate. the first ruler, but Augustus adopted him to ensure a smooth transition of power from one generation to the other generation. So, Tiberius, who succeeded Augustus, was not a natural born son to Augustus. He was adopted by him to ensure smooth transition. The external warfare was also much less common in the first 2 centuries. The empire inherited by Tiberius from Augustus was already so vast, as you can see on the screen here, from here to here across the 3 continents. Expansion was felt unnecessary. It is natural and obvious that anybody who can succeed such a vast empire would feel that it is not necessary to expand it further. In fact, the Augustan age is remembered for the peace it assured in after decades of internal strife and centuries of military conquest. Augustus' age is remembered as the age of peace, peaceful time after the decades of internal strife. The only major campaign of expansion in the early empire was Trajan's fruitless occupation of territory across the river Euphrates in the years 113 to 117 CE, which was abandoned by his successors. So, what was a major campaign of expansion that is being done during the early empire period or early Roman Empire period? It is the Trajan fruitless occupation of the territory. Where is this territory? This territory is across the river Euphrates, somewhere in the eastern border. Which period it was done? It was done in the period 113 to 117 CE, which was abandoned by his successors of the early Roman Empire. The gradual extension of the Roman direct rule, this was accomplished by absorbing a whole series of dependent kingdoms into the Roman provincial territory. How did the Roman Empire got expanded in the early period? The expansion or the extension of the Roman control over the entire territory expanded by absorbing the areas which are dependent kingdoms into the Roman provincial territory. Near the east, there was a full of such kingdoms, but by the early 2nd century, which lay west to the Euphrates, as you can see the river here, the river Euphrates, and the western part of the river Euphrates towards the Roman territory had disappeared. How did they disappear? They were swallowed into the Roman control or the Roman Empire. So, how did the expansion happen? It happened by the absorption of the dependent kingdoms. From where these kingdoms are adopted? It was during the period of early 2nd century, the regions near the river Euphrates are being swallowed into the Roman Empire. That is how the expansion happened. Where? Near the west of river Euphrates. They started to disappear. How did they disappear? Because they were swallowed into the Roman control, Roman territory. Incidentally, some of these kingdoms were exceedingly wealthy. So the kingdoms which were absorbed or taken control by the Romans were extremely wealthy. For example, as we can see here, the Herod's kingdom yielded equivalent to 5.4 million denarii per year. How much? 5.4 million, that is equal to 10 lakhs. 5.4 into 10 lakhs, that is nothing but 54 lakh denarii, which is equal to 125,000 kgs of gold. Denarius was a Roman silver coin containing 4.5 grams of pure silver. So this is an example to show how rich and wealthy are the kingdoms that are being swallowed or added to the Roman Empire. In fact, except for Italy, which was not considered a province in these centuries, all the territories of the empire were organized into provinces and they were subjected to taxation. So, how did the expansion happen for the Roman Empire, which was somewhere in the central part of Rome, Italy? From here, how did they expand towards the east? The Roman Empire swallowed all the dependent kingdoms. And these dependent kingdoms were very wealthy in nature, as we have seen the example of Herod's kingdom. And they used to divide the entire empire into provinces and used to collect taxation, which also made the Roman Empire very rich and wealthy.